The Middle East, a region synonymous with volatility, is once again teetering on the brink. This time, the epicenter of the storm is not the familiar standoff between Israel and Palestine, but a new front opening up in Yemen. The Houthi rebels, a militant group that has been engaged in a protracted conflict in Yemen, have emerged as a significant threat to Israel, extending their reach across the Red Sea and into the heart of the Israeli homeland. For years, the Houthis, allegedly backed by Iran, have been a thorn in the side of Saudi Arabia and its allies. However, recent months have witnessed a dramatic escalation in their tactics, with the rebels launching a series of audacious missile and drone attacks targeting Israel. These attacks, while largely intercepted by Israel's sophisticated defense systems, have shattered any semblance of normalcy in Israeli life. The impact of these attacks extends far beyond the physical damage they inflict. They have instilled a sense of fear and uncertainty in Israeli society, a stark reminder of the country's vulnerability in an increasingly volatile region. The psychological toll of living under the constant threat of attack cannot be overstated. It is against this backdrop of escalating tensions that Israel has vowed to take decisive action, embarking on a new chapter in its long-standing conflict with Iran and its proxies. Israel, known for its swift and decisive military responses, has wasted no time in retaliating against the Houthi threat. The Israeli Defense Forces have launched a series of airstrikes targeting Houthi military infrastructure in Yemen, aiming to cripple their ability to launch further attacks. These strikes, carried out with surgical precision, have inflicted significant damage on Houthi assets, but they represent only the tip of the spear in Israel's broader strategy. In a significant departure from its previous posture, Israel has made it clear that its retaliation will not be confined to Houthi targets within Yemen. Israeli officials have indicated that they are prepared to target Iranian assets and personnel directly, both within Iran and across the region. This expansion of the conflict represents a bold gamble by Israel, one that carries with it the risk of igniting a wider regional conflagration. Israel's decision to directly confront Iran is a testament to the growing strategic convergence between the two countries. Iran, for its part, has long viewed Israel as an existential threat, providing material and logistical support to groups like Hezbollah and Hamas that share its goal of Israel's destruction. The Houthis, while not traditionally aligned with Iran, have emerged as a valuable proxy in Tehran's regional ambitions, providing it with a strategic foothold on the Arabian Peninsula and a platform to threaten Israel's southern flank. The escalating conflict between Israel and the Houthis is further complicated by the complex web of alliances and rivalries that define the Middle East. The United States, Israel's staunchest ally, has found itself in a delicate balancing act. On the one hand, the Biden administration has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to Israel's security, recognizing its right to defend itself against external threats. On the other hand, the U.S. is wary of being drawn into another protracted conflict in the Middle East, particularly at a time when it is seeking to re-engage diplomatically with Iran and salvage the tattered remnants of the Iran nuclear deal. The Gulf Arab states, led by Saudi Arabia, are watching the unfolding events with a mixture of apprehension and quiet satisfaction. Saudi Arabia, which has borne the brunt of Houthi attacks in recent years, welcomes Israel's willingness to take on the Iranian-backed rebels. However, Riyadh is also mindful of the potential for a wider conflict that could destabilize the region and threaten its own security. The international community, meanwhile, has been largely muted in its response to the escalating crisis. The United Nations, hampered by internal divisions and a lack of political will, has proven ineffective in mediating a ceasefire or de-escalating the conflict. Russia and China, both permanent members of the UN Security Council, have used their veto power to block any meaningful action against the Houthis, seeing the conflict as an opportunity to advance their own geopolitical interests in the region. As the situation in Yemen continues to deteriorate, the specter of a wider regional conflict looms large. Israel's decision to directly confront Iran and its proxies represents a significant escalation, one that carries with it the risk of igniting a conflagration that could engulf the entire region. The potential consequences of such a conflict are too dire to contemplate. The path forward is fraught with peril. The international community must work collectively and decisively to de-escalate the conflict and find a political solution. This will require engaging with all parties to the conflict, including the Houthis, and addressing the underlying grievances that have fueled the conflict. Failure to act decisively will only prolong the suffering of the Yemeni people and increase the risk of a wider war. The escalating conflict in Yemen is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the interconnectedness of global security. It is a conflict that demands our attention, our resources, and our unwavering commitment to finding a peaceful resolution. The fate of Yemen, and indeed the stability of the entire Middle East, hangs in the balance.